Hi guys, back again with another journal page, and this time I'm starting off not gessoing the page and applying some of my sticky washi tape, if you'd call it that. They're stickers, they look like a washi tape. So anyway, it's got some text on it and just having a little bit of texture and text in the background there that does show through eventually. So I've taken 2 rolls of this sticky washi tape. Yeah, that got stuck there and I couldn't get it off, so just cut it. Oh, they can be a pain. But you rip them off so easily, but to get the tape off the backing tape off is just a nightmare. Anyway, we're done with that. And now we're going to add some paints. So some grey mixed up with the blue there. And just scraping it on, applying it on with my palette knife, just no rhyme, nor reason, just sticking down paint. And what I'm aiming for is a bit of, well, a lot of layers in certain areas, because I'm going to be working with circles again. All right, so flesh and some hydrangea pink, I think it was. And it was still a bit too dark, so I added some titanium white to it. What I am doing, the colours I'm choosing are colours that were similar to the ones in the image I'm going to be adhering to the page. And in the end, I think it would have been better had I used some contrasting colours. Something that would make the image and the texture pop a bit more, I think. But anyway, it turned out all right. Took a wet baby wipe there just to dull it down a bit. Loving the colour of that bluey grey mix. And just toning those sticky sheets down in the background there. So now I'm going to apply some gesso and just here and there, not all over the place. Sort of mute it down a little bit. And I think I end up doing a couple of a thicker sort of whitish or brighter white streaks there, you'll see. Okay, now adding more texture here. I went through my Tim Holtz layering stencils and got out a few. Now I'm using that grey that I mixed with the blue there to have a bit more colour depth to it, I guess. Okay, so the first one was numbered, and then this is the layering, the typo stencil, just with the alphabet on there. And you can't sort of see those letters very clearly, not a lot of them anyway. Just adding texture is all. And now the string layering stencil, and this is, I've gone in with the, oh sorry, it was rose pink, not hydrangea pink. The pure rose pink there. So we've got a bit of brighter colour in there. Now I'm going to tone it down with some sand using the flourish stencil. So I just want a hint of each of these to come through. And now the splattering layering stencil. Using the warm white fluid acrylic from Sonja. That was one of the paints that didn't dry up for lack of use, which I am thankful for. Now we're coming in with the striped stencil, with the hydrangea pink, a softer pink than that rose pink. All right, and I think finally we're going to use the dot fade, and I think I'm using it with, it's either the warm white or the titanium white. I think it might be the warm white. So there's the image I cut out from the Cut and Collage Flower Fairies book. So I just placed it down so I knew where I was putting it, so that when I did these circles, these are just random lids I had in my texture stash container there. And just tracing those with the lead pencil. So now, here comes the first of 2 layers. I've gone around all these circles with the warm white fluid acrylic paint. So I'm hiding all that background with that warm white, and you'll only see the background appearing through those circles. I love this technique. You never know what you're going to get. Yep, that's the first layer on that side. So 2 layers I did on the whole page. Now, I just took a thin piece of transparency sheet and I've just dotted with a micron pen, I think it was, in the center so that I could use it as a stencil, well, a tracing stencil. And it was a bit too wide for the punches to go through, so I had to cut off that about 1/8 of an inch at the side of that for them to go through, because the dots are in the center line, because I wanted these dots to be straight on the page, straight-ish. And so I'm just using a black micron marker to trace those circles all down the page like that. Not all of them, you know, it all depends on where the other circles, the textured circles, were positioned on the page. So that was the idea behind that. And now I'm going to attempt, and I say attempt because it wasn't a very successful attempt because of the creamy white background. These bubbles didn't really stand out as much as they would have had they been on a darker background. That's okay. It's just a bit of difference there, that's all. So I'm just going through painting with the same colours, or yeah, pretty much the same colours I used throughout the textured areas on the page. Yep. And now I'm going to just run a line through each of those bubbles as if they're suspended on a string. Just using a T ruler there to help me. All right, so to make these pop, I decided to use the Prussian blue water-soluble wax pastels, and I'm just wetting my finger with a wet baby wipe and just spreading all that crayon goodness around. And it's okay. I think I ruined it in the end with the ink that I used for the image. But anyway, so now thinking these large bubbles, if that's what you want to call them, are I just wanted to use some white wax pastel there, just so that it stand out a bit more, or trying. Yep, there's the image. So I'm going to glue it down using Elmer's fabric and paper craft glue, only because my Alien's tack is all clogged up. Got to sort that out. So once she's down, I decide to choose a colour to go around her, and I thought this colour, a fiery red or some sort of red it was. I had to rip the end off it so I could use it, and I lost it. So yeah, I don't know whether I like her with that one. I mean, it draws your eye to her because it's different, but maybe I should have used something else. Anyway, just take my micron pen and going over and add some little sketch marks on those lines just to give it a bit more interest. And I thought the white wasn't showing up as much as I wanted to. So I started off with the Jelly Roll pen and it wasn't doing it. So then I brought out the Posca pen, and that helped. And this was a pointless exercise, trying to paint on some starbursts on here, which you can't see unless you look up close because of the very pale background. Now, had it been a darker background, things would have been different. Just saying, Jen. Anyway, get out the Jelly Roll again. So I thought, no, had enough of that. So let's put on the title, and I just chose choose your destination. And I like the black, the contrast of the black on there. Okay, so I'm just gluing it down again with that Elmer's fabric and paper craft glue. Yeah, not quite even, Jen, but it'll do. So Stabilo oil pencil, activate it with some water, give it a bit of shadowing effect, and then we're done. It didn't turn out too bad. I'll work on it. Not on this page, but on another page. The same sort of thing. Anyway, it's done. So thanks for watching, guys, and I will be back next week with another journal page. Thanks, guys. Bye.